Hello. Yeah, my people, let me share the stream. Share the stream. Oh, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, Fisher, how are you there? Thanks, guys, for stopping by. Thank you. How are you? Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. Yeah, my people. If you remember, they took down my Facebook page and published the exact time. Welcome. That time I was talking about the northern Nigeria things, the things that are happening in northern Nigeria. And something people don't know is this: to get Nigeria working, you need to educate the citizens of northern Nigeria. And there are things that you should not mention in Nigeria. Anything that will bring awakening into that country, they don't need it. Tyrants don't want an informed population. These are the two types of populations they don't want: an armed population and an educated population. And by education, I mean real education, getting the real information. Right now, about a couple of hours ago, the Nigerian Senate are debating what? Are they talking about how to make sure that the whole place is prepared for this coronavirus, in case if it starts affecting our people? Because so far, I don't see any black person is affected. Are they talking about that? No. What are they talking about? They are talking about how to introduce a bill that will censor anything you say on social media. You see how the way they are censoring us? Go ask people from northern Nigeria who are saying the truth. A lot of them can't even type one tenth of what you and I are typing. They can't. They don't even have that pleasure. You see, that's why when I see some of them online, I don't fight with them. I don't quarrel with them. I try to educate them. I just ask them questions. I don't get into a fight. And you find out that when you are not fighting with them, you just ask them simple questions. You see them start coming to their senses. You see them slumping back if you are talking with them face to face. You see them slumping back like because they've never heard it before. And you should not say anything that would give them education, get them informed. You cannot talk against their Majiri system. Thank you, Oni. Thank you, Oni Nebolisa. That's how you should do it. And don't criticize their Majiri system. This is the system. Those are the people they used to cause religious riots that time. Have we forgotten? Have we forgotten that these are the same people they were using to cause all these riots? Fine. During those religious riots, do you think that responsible kids from responsible homes in the north are fighting? Go to northern Nigeria. There is a reason they allow them get admissions with small marks. Can you believe that someone will score 16 out of 500 and get admitted into a school? When it was 100, someone can score 4, in some states 2, and get admitted into school. And the schools they are attending are the schools in their regions. And those schools are allowing them, even just mention that you want to get admission, get your jam number. That's the only thing they need. They don't mind the score. Why? They just want to give them certificates. So tomorrow they will fix them in offices. Because a dumb person is easier to control. And if the person naturally will know that he or she is not worth the position he or she is occupying, the person will will of course do what the person that gave him or her the job. This is the game they are playing, and you dare not mention it. Now they've removed Sanusi. And I'm like, I talked with someone yesterday. While we were talking, I was telling the person, look at what's happening. I was giving an example on how these colonial institutions work and the ones that replaced which ones. Now is the governors. That's why I tell you, the king of your village, if he does nonsense, you can sue him now and remove him. So those ones will not even want to go against the governors, because the governors will remove them at any time. That's what I've been telling people. That's what I keep telling people. And now, someone that is occupying a position like the Emir of Kano is now telling the people what they shouldn't know. Those messages are left for people like us, so they can smear us as noisemakers on social media. Does he have a job? If he has a job, he wouldn't be doing this. Look at those idiots, those hungry people, attention seekers. You will see names, name calling. And when you are getting too closer to the truth, they will ban you. They will remove you. I dare you to use your Facebook account. Go and do a Facebook live video if you have large views. Like if you are getting on average 2,000 views on your video, between 2,000 and 50,000, 80,000. Talk about Boko Haram and how these people are using those people they are bringing from Mali, Chad, Niger to replace this population that refuse to do their bidding now. That is what they are doing. In some places now, Boko Haram are collecting taxes, controlling villages, controlling everything in the north. What type of people do you think will populate that place? They are the dumbest of the dumb, or the people they will cow, or desperate people. They are using them to replace and the day these people get this message right, believe me, there will be war. In fact, Nigerian soldiers will go in the street and start shooting their bosses, the generals, the colonels, each and every one of them that are involved in this. Some of them can't talk. Some of them can't talk. They can't. They don't want to go to jail. The other ones are facing death sentence for fighting against someone that wants to send them in harm's way. You want to put soldiers in sand trucks, tipper, to go and fight an armed group that has even anti-aircraft guns. A group like that, a well-armed group, a well-formidable. See, I've stopped mocking Nigerian soldiers a long time ago. Before I was saying, hey, they can't even fight these factors. No, those are well-trained mercenaries. They are mercenaries. And you dare not say anything that will educate the people. Please, I don't want to talk too much. I will play you people the video I just saw, because when they removed this guy, I'm like, they've been cutting his Emirates gradually. Now they've removed him. What did he say again? I just went on YouTube and typed in Sanusi speech. The latest I saw, I think it was in the third or fourth video, was what the speech he made in Nasser El-Rufai's 60th birthday 2 weeks ago on channels. My people, you need to hear this. I'm going to play this message now. I'm going to play his message. Guys, hold on. Let me share yours. I don't want it to play only on the background. Let me share the screen first. Let me share the screen, guys, and get the video. Okay. Can you guys see me? Hold on. Oh no. Okay, you can see it. It's there. Let me play that video. Just hold on. From channels. I hope they don't give me a strike. Well, I demonetize it.
I'm going to tell you a story about how an illiterate outsmarted Nasir and Hadiza. This was a newlywed couple, I think about 2-3 years into the marriage. They were like what you'd call churawa. They had just bought this Mercedes-Benz 200 car. I think it was a Kubo. And they had this habit of hanging the key because they had no children. They had one Megad who was a Tuareg Buzu. So they had this habit of hanging the key in an open place. Anyone that was going to drive would just take the car and drive. And this Tuareg must have thought, so these educated, smart people, because they're taking me for granted. Unknown to Nasir and Hadiza, this man went and learned how to drive. One day he just picked the key, entered the car in broad daylight, drove, and no one has seen him since that day. This was 1988. So I think the lesson there is that you can be the smartest person in the world, and you can still be outsmarted by people who you underestimate. Now, we talk about birthdays and talk about happiness. I remember a few weeks ago, someone asked me, "Are you happy?" And I said, "I hope not." And he was surprised. The truth is, nobody who is a leader in northern Nigeria today can afford to be happy. You can't be happy with 87% of the poverty in Nigeria being in the north. You can't be happy with millions of northern children out of school. You can't be happy with 9 states in the north contributing almost 50% of the entire malnutrition burden in the country.
Even though they are farmers.
You can't be happy with the drug problem. You can't be happy with the Boko Haram problem. You can't be happy with political thuggery. You can't be happy with all the issues, the Almajiri problem that we have. So when we wish...
You see this one he just mentioned, the Almajiri problem. You dare not mention that in Nigeria. Any person that wants to die today in northern Nigeria, go and mention that these people need to be cleaned, that the government has the capacity to provide them with housing. He's coming to the parents. This guy touched everything. Right now, I'm sure he has no ally left in any establishment of northern Nigeria. Even Nasir El-Rufai, his friend cannot speak up. He can't. Just go. Let's continue.
Nasir, a happy birthday. To be happy as a leader. Because you are happy when you think you have reached a state of delivering and taking your people to where you want them to be. Now, because of the condition of northern Nigeria, it is almost cliche now to say, if you are seen as normal, if you're a governor in the north or a leader in the north, and if you are seen as normal in the sense that you continue to do what your predecessors have been doing the same thing, which has been normalized, then there's something wrong with you. You are part of the problem.
Yes.
The real change in the north will come from the mavericks, those who are considered mad people. Because you look around and you have to say, if this is the way we have been doing things, and this is where we have ended up, maybe we need to do things differently.
Things are coming.
If we have populated the government with middle-aged men, maybe we need to try younger people. Maybe we need to try women.
Do you see? They are not even applauding.
And our money on physical infrastructure. Maybe we need to invest more in the education.
Please, guys, that statement he made about women, he didn't make it in the midst of 7 people. Let's go back and you listen to the pitiful applause he got when he said that thing. Let's play it again. Just pay attention. Wait.
Younger people. Maybe we need to try women. If we have spent our time and our money on physical infrastructure, maybe we need to invest more in the education of our children. Maybe we need to invest more in nutrition. Maybe we need to invest more in primary health care. And the truth is, if you look at what Nasser is doing in Kaduna, with 40% of his budget in education, that is the only thing that is going to save the North.
Of course, and everyone else. And everyone else.
And I know that when we say these things, they don't go down well. We've been saying this for 20, 30 years. If the North does not change, the North will destroy itself.
This is what removed him. Have you heard the final straw that broke the camel's back? Did you hear what he just said? This is almost like he is our Facebook friend. Almost like he is a caller into our programs. Almost like he lives in the street. Or is it just too obvious that anyone who is not trying to lie to you in the North is seeing it? If it's not obvious, why is it that almost every northern leader now goes with more police escorts? Some are going with the military. If it's not obvious, now you say there is a revolution in northern Nigeria and they are using Boko Haram to depopulate the North and fill it with the new people they will bring in from Niger, Chad, and Mali. Again, even Burkina Faso or Central African Republic. I have no qualms with my fellow African brothers and sisters coming to dwell any place. My problem is this. These dumb people, by the time they will come and they can't even assimilate. Are you seeing the thing this man is saying? Are you hearing what he's saying? This thing will get to the platform on Facebook. Now it got him dethroned. It got him dethroned. They are doing a digital dethronement every day of Nigerians who are saying the truth. And more so northern Nigerians. If you are understanding Hausa, go and check the memes this guy are making. They have now been reduced to meme makers instead of videos. They are now only using meme, and I thank them. I respect their ingenuity. Or is it ingenious? Please. I'm mixing it up right now. It's my second language anyway. But I respect the way they reason. It takes a sophisticated mind to resort to that when you are caged. Necessity demands that they will find another way out, and they found. Now they are using only meme. Sanusi is saying it from the position of an emir the Emir of Kano. Now watch. They will go to his family and find a cousin of his and make the person Emir. You see all those emirates they remove from the Kano Emirate, those places, those new emirates they created, they will still collapse them back into the Kano Emirates if they can find someone who will do their bidding. Keep an eye on the next person they will choose. They will find someone who was like a military leader before. I bet I put my money on that. Or they will find someone that is if they will find a cousin of his, go and check this. They will find someone around him. In fact, they've already ordained someone. They are just waiting for this air to cool off before they bring the person. Just enjoy the news for 48, 72 hours. Then they will give you who their new emir is. Let's go.
The country is moving on. Quota system that everybody talks about must have a sunset clause. The reason people like Nasser stand up and they're nationalists is that you don't have any sense of inadequacy. You don't need to ride on being from Kaduna State or being from the north or being a Muslim to get a job. You go with your...
Now, watch what he said about all these things. They are putting their people in positions of power. They are not putting them because they love them. No, they are putting incompetent people, knowing well that incompetent people will always do their bidding. I will not stop this at least for the next 7 minutes. Just analyze it yourself. I will not stop you to analyze because I'm enjoying this thing. I will still go and replay it again. It's not too long, 16 minutes and 51 seconds. Go and watch it later.
Credentials, you go with your competence, you can compete with any Nigerian from anywhere. We need to get our northern youth to a point where they don't need to rely on being from a part of the country to get a job. And believe me, if we don't listen, there will be a day when there will be a constitutional amendment that addresses this issue of quota system and federal character. The rest of the country cannot be investing, educating its children, producing graduates, and then they watch us, they can't get jobs because they come from the wrong state, when we have not invested in the education of our own children. So as we celebrate Nasser at 60, we need to celebrate him as a public officer who is addressing the core problems of his constituency. It is education, it's girl-child education, it's women's rights, it's child begging, parental irresponsibility, demographic growth.
Child begging.
It's managing a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious society and bringing them into one community where they're all citizens. And it's done a lot that we can learn from. So I am proud to count Nasser as one of my friends. I usually say that I have to keep him as a friend because he's the only person in Nigeria beside whom I am considered a moderate.
Do you see the joke he just threw? He called his friend an extremist. That apart from him, he's considered a moderate. That means this guy is worse than him. Are you seeing the joke he's throwing around? Even the people didn't get it very well. You will see at the end where he told him his own fault. El-Rufai, he told him in his face on his birthday. That's how you know a truth teller.
You know, people usually go to people and say, talk to your friend, Sanusi, or talk to your friend, the Emir. But people come to me and say, please talk to your friend Nasser. Even 2 days ago, someone sent me to him with 2 messages. I delivered the first one, which I thought was nice and friendly and conciliatory. When I saw the reaction, I did not deliver the second one. I'm waiting for the right time to deliver it. I still have to deliver that message. But you know, we've just said about how much he's invested in his own development. He's not just a quantity surveyor, he's a lawyer. He's got master's degrees. You've heard over 80 certificates from Harvard. And education is what makes the man. And one thing I can say, when I was telling someone who drove into this government house and he talked about how beautiful it was. I said, let me tell you something. If you take Nasir out of this government house today and put him in a 2-bedroom apartment, if he has light and his books, wallahi, it will not matter to him. There's no difference. And it's important that we realize that what we have, the positions that we hold, are transient and they do not define us. Anybody can be called a governor. Anybody can be called an emir. Anybody can be called a commissioner, a minister. At the end of the day, you owe it to yourself for the years that you are given that opportunity to know that God has given you a chance to do something, to leave a mark, and to impact people's lives. Now, those people today may not appreciate it, including the people you are helping. There's a story of Chief Obafemi Awolowo when he started free primary education. They demonstrated against it. Women came out naked. The fathers refused to pay taxes. He had to force them. All those people whose parents were complaining today are thankful. They are professors, they are doctors, they are engineers. What we say about Nasiri today will not matter. Some of us will say things because we're his friends. Some of us will say things because maybe we want favors from him. What will really matter is long after he's gone, when the history of Kaduna State is being taught in a classroom to children whom he has never met, what will they say about him and what he did? And that is what is true of each and every one of us. We have to think, not how the people around us, living with us, react to us. Each of us has to think, in the next 50 years, 100 years, when I am gone, when the history of this office is being written, what will it be said that I did? That is the most important thing, the legacy. So I pray for you that what you are building today remains a legacy that will be remembered after you. And my prayer for you is that you will impact the lives of people who you do not know, whom you have never met, in a manner that they will remember you forever. Of course, Nasir takes many risks. People have said you can't say someone is perfect. I said he has most of the qualities. There are two that I would like him to learn more of.
Attention.
One quality is diplomacy. I know it sounds
which Rufai doesn't have.
Rich coming from me, but but I can actually advise Nasir on being diplomatic. That is a good thing. He's the one person I can advise on being more diplomatic. The other is more patience with people. Because as we grow older, we realize that not everybody will be at our level. That sometimes what we see with clarity, it takes others a long time to see. And maybe it's not malice, maybe it's not bad intention, it's just that they can't see it. And so sometimes we need to slow down. A final story of, like I said, he takes risks, and he needs to take risks. When he had a problem with teachers in Kaduna State, some of his political friends came to me and said, advise your friend, he's on his first term. He should not take this risk, he can lose the election. So I said, okay, I would advise him, but I know he will not listen to this advice. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I knew what his answer would be. But I came to him. I said, Nasir, some people think you should wait until you get your second term. He said, Your Highness, if the people of Kaduna State want to vote me out because I want good education for their children, let them vote me out. And that is really the attitude. People, you win an election. After you win, you should be governing for the people. You should not be in a campaign mode for 4 years. You were elected to deliver the service. If people appreciate it and vote for you, fine. If they don't, you have done your bit. The biggest risk he has taken, which I saw today, which I will be very careful about taking, is to have a documentary and have your wives talk about you. I'll be very careful about that. I don't know if you saw this documentary, but certainly,
guys, he's almost through with the men things he was saying. Look at the name of that video on channels. Go to channels. Listen, see channels television, full video. Sanusi accuses northern leaders of failing region. Now, when you want to see how I got it, I went. You see, Sanusi speech. Watch here. Sanusi Lamido speech is the third video, but there are other videos here. Go and take your time. Watch these videos. Go and watch the man's speeches. Watch this video. You see the video we just watched, 16 minutes and 52 seconds by channels. Go and watch this video and take this moment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, please. And turn on the notification bell so you know when next we come on. This is how we do it here. But let's just run small analysis here. This guy just did this. This is like the speech Gaddafi gave on the floor of the UN General Assembly before he was killed, or the speech Assad when Gaddafi was giving that speech. In fact, there was the one he gave. I think he was in Cairo. Assad, the Syrian president, was laughing. They were all laughing. All those people that laughed, where are they now? They have been removed, killed, or are fighting to keep their countries. It's the same system everywhere. Please, today all of us should be Sanusi. I'm not a supporter of monarchy. I hate monarchy, like I've always said. It's a colonial institution. Have you all seen it? Emir of Kano, Emir of Kano. No, the Kano state governor can remove the Emir of Kano. The Sokoto state governor can remove the Emir of Sokoto if the powers that be want, because they've transferred power from these ones to the military, then from the military to these ones, they gave something. Now, do you now see why those days most of these people had their children in the army? Because the military was going to rule. Ever since the military rule ended, how many of their children are in the army? Because there's nothing there for them. They are now in the banks, hedge fund managers. They are the people running your stock market. They are the people running your petroleum products. They are selling them, selling your resources. They are now in private businesses. Why do you think they brought their privatization? And ever since they brought their privatization, none of their children goes to work as a civil servant, because the money is no longer in the civil service. Have you seen it? Please, that video, share it with your friends. If you have your northern friends, share it with them. You can still share this one. Also, I would like this one to go far too. Share these people. Share this message. Share the hell out of that video, that channel's video. Share it, and if you can accompany with this one, fine. It will help me build the channel. Please, guys, subscribe. What? This is like someone asked the question. This is not proper and immoral, and we are not in support of this. Yes, go online and type it. Take that, Ibrahim. I'm happy to have you here. That message, take it and send to your friends in the north, Medjugorje, in the northern cities, Kano, Duse, in all these states, Borno, Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Kaduna, come. Send them this video. Send that video to them. Send them those videos. Educate them. Forget about the oil. The mineral resources in the north are numerous, inquantifiable. Go and check how many resources they listed you can find in every state in Nigeria. The ones in the north, what are they using it for? The ones in the south, is the one they are showing us, and it seems that we in the south are not seeing a dime, a penny, and nobody in the north is seeing it. For you Nigerians that love to fight these ethnic and tribal wars, now you know why these people are not quarreling. The governor of Imo State, I can tell you that his children have the numbers of ministers, even local government chairmen in Kebbi State, senators' children. They roll in class, and you and I will come here every day. You see your fellow Nigerians that is suffering like you. You and him will be quarreling and fighting. Educate our people. Let the message go wide. Send that message to our people. Send it to them. Share it. Share it. Let them hear that message. From Sanusi, not from me. From Sanusi, not from me. Are you seeing it? This is the message that should not be given out. That's what this guy is giving. Go and check how many views. Let me check how many views that video has. Hold on. 21,000 views only. 21,000 views. Now go and search for one gossip. This thing. Search for Regina Daniels now and see. Search for Bobrisky and see. Search for these musicians that refuse to use their platform to fight for us. Go there and see what Nigerians are doing there. Go there and see. Someone already saying, hey, for what he did to Jonathan. What did Jonathan do for you? Was Jonathan that good that many Nigerians asked for a new person? That we bought this St. Buhari lie? Was Jonathan that good? Do you even know that Jonathan, when he left office, there was no potable water in his hometown? Time to unite, my sister. Tell them. Tell them. Dividing you. Christians can't talk to Muslims. The vice president's daughter, a pastor, a Christian pastor, got married to a Muslim. Nothing happened. The sky didn't fall. It didn't rain blood in Nigeria. It didn't rain hot coal. But a poor man will go. Nigerians, it's time to wake up. They've been lying to us since forever. It's a system, and we need to take them down. I told people no revolution will take place in Nigeria without informing the northern youths, because they are the ones they will send to confront other people. Why do you think they need Amajiris? Because if there is any organized protest, they will have a pool they will choose from. They are weaponizing poverty. And anything that will end poverty in the north will end poverty in Nigeria. Yes. And I think I will do another video and address Showore. He should be the mouthpiece of Sanusi right now. No media will give a good analysis about this thing. I dare any media house in Nigeria to do it. If they mention it for 15 minutes on the show, believe me, you will be lucky to have that. My money is on them not mentioning it past 30 minutes. And I mean the whole the top 10 media houses in Nigeria, they will mention it past 5 times. Why? All those people that are advertising on their programs, all those companies, corporations are owned by these same people he's exposing. So are you going to run a program that will expose me and what I'm doing while I'm advertising on your show? And these people, what do they care for? Their bottom line. Now you know why the millionaires that are reading your news will not rock the boat, because they are in the boat. They are eating what fell from the captain's table, and the captain and his crew are your president and these people. It's your president and the other governors, the other elected leaders. I don't know who elected them. Most of them were unelected. They got it by sheer force, and the people are too stupid to fight back. They've sold. We talk about people who are selling their souls. Nigerians are selling their souls for a penny. And if they get this message, believe me, they won't. They won't. If they know that if they leave that 10,000 today and within 4 years, they may even become millionaires or be counting in thousands. Heavy thousands, not be 15,000, 20,000. Poverty, do you hear? The North gives us, the Northern Nigeria provide a lot of food. They make food, but 9 states in the North contribute to 50% of what? Malnutrition in Nigeria. Are you listening to me? What is the uranium deposit in Northern Nigeria? What's the gold deposit in Northern Nigeria? When they are doing all this, the Agungu festival, all these festivals, they decorate horses in gold, camels in gold, real solid gold. Do you think they are buying those gold from Italy, Saudi Arabia, and all that? No, those golds came from Nigeria. They are mining those golds. Those golds, they are mining them there. The diamond, everything, a lot of things they are mining there that no one is talking about. We are all focused on what's not important. Now is the anti-social media bill. Like seriously, hate crime bill. For people that are saying people are insulting people on social media, we can never stop insulting people, and I will never stop taking insult until I die. Why didn't we kill each other all the while we've been insulting ourselves? In fact, Nigerians have come together better. Someone with another Nigerian name just mentioned something here, but growing up, how many Northern friends did I have? Go on Facebook, how many Northerners do you have as friends on Facebook? Now you started exchanging ideas. This is the only way you people can talk something different from what you are getting on TV. Christian and Muslims need to reunite. The Christian faith, no, that is not our problem. We need food. We need electricity. We need water. We need security. I don't care what a Christian says about a Muslim. I don't care what a Muslim says about a Christian. Naturally, we are endowed to talk. And we can talk anything as long as you are not harming someone. If I talk against Allah, if Allah is too strong, let him come and fight. If I talk against Jesus, let Jesus fight his fight. Hey, sister, brother, come, let's fight these people. Let's get to us house. We cannot be in the middle of the ocean and be dry and thirsty at the same time. It is not possible. Under a mountain, a fountain, we are wet. We are dry, I'm sorry. How can we be in the middle of a desert and be lacking sand? Is that possible? And the people who are saying the truth about it are being censored online. Even, are you seeing it? You can't escape it. Not even the Emir of Kano could escape it. Right now, people should be pouring out in the streets, but no. The person, because they know that the person's face they are seeing is the hands that are doing this are bigger than the person's they are seeing his face. Gandola, the same governor they saw that was stuffing dollars, US dollars inside his hat. Yes, Gandola removed Sanusi, who is a true speaker. My people, if we are going to help ourselves, this is how we're going to do it. It's time for everyone to speak up for this man. Thank you everyone for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so they notify you. Thank you everyone for joining me. And let me share this video. And remember to share that video with your friends and family. Thanks everyone. See you soon.